So before, we had our 20 at 50 or 40 at 60, which means that you had either 50% was your low income definition, and that's the maximum it could be, or 60% was the definition of low income, and that's the maximum it could be. Well, what income averaging does is that it opens up this idea that you can designate units in 10% increments from 20% all the way up to 80%. So before, where we could have had a household who was at, let's say, 65%, they weren't eligible for the program, but now with these higher tiers, it provides an opportunity to just serve those households kind of in between the 60 and 80%. But on the flip side of that, it also provides owners the ability to restrict units at a lower percentage. So before, of course, 20% is less than 50% or 60%. So a household who was income eligible at 20% would have satisfied the previous minimum set-asides. However, the rent burden to that 20% household will be disproportionate to their income. So they could move into a 60% unit because they are, 20% income is less than 60%, but they would still be paying the 60% rent. So what this does now is it drives down the rent to the more applicable rent burden for what the household is actually income eligible for. So this 20% household, or this household that's at 14%, now gets to qualify for 20% and get a 20% rent, which obviously makes that household very happy. And so likewise, it just rolls all the way up, 30%, 40%, 70%, and 80%. And so the goal here is to designate units across your property in these increments so that the average of all of these is no more than 60%.